Andrew Burt, August 28th, 2020, is artificial intelligence fair? Right. And he goes on to talk about that we have a lot of frameworks for determining if AI is fair. And all we have to do is look at the laws that are already in place. We can look at the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, Civil Rights Act, Fair Housing Act, Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. We can look at those things as frameworks and structures. Where we get into trouble is when we use things as proxies. I'm really summarizing significantly here. When we use things as proxies, let me see if it occurs when a seemingly neutral variable like level of home ownership acts as a proxy for a protected variable like race. What makes avoiding disparate impacts so difficult in practice is that it's often extremely challenging to truly remove all proxies for a protected class. And so that's what we're trying to do. See, it's sometimes not even clear what the most fair decision really is. In one study, Google AI researchers, the seemingly beneficial approach of giving disadvantaged groups easier access to loans had the unintended effect of reducing this group's credit scores overall. Easier access to loans actually increased the number of defaults within that group, therefore lowering their collective scores over time. To me, this was just it was interesting. He does go on to say it's really complex, right? Despite all these complexities, however, existing legal standards can provide a good baseline for organizations seeking to combat unfairness in their AI. But we have to know what the algorithms are. He goes on to say, first, regulated companies must clearly document all the ways they've attempted to minimize and therefore to measure disparate impact on their models. They must, in other words, carefully monitor and document all attempts to reduce algorithmic unfairness. And second thing is regulated organizations must generate clear, good faith justifications for using the models they eventually deploy. If fair methods existed, they would also met these same objectives. Liability can ensue. Okay. So again, this is actually, it's not a long article. It's just a hefty article in terms of what it's talking about. Here's my so what on this. We used to have IT governance, then we went to data governance, then we went to fill in the blank governance. I think the next thing we're going to have is we're going to have algorithm governance. So we're going to have, we'll call it something else. We'll call it our AI whatever group or whatever. What we're going to be looking at in that group is anywhere we've introduced where computers are making decisions. And we're going to be evaluating, is that decision right, wrong? Is that decision fair, unfair? We're going to have to create this level of governance where we're looking at the algorithms. So first, that's going to require us to understand the algorithms. And we shouldn't be buying software that we don't understand the algorithms or building software that we don't understand the algorithms. But we're going to have to collect that information, bring it before that governance group is going to have to be able to look at it. Because quite frankly, you're going to have to document it anyway. At some point, you're going to get an audit. I don't know from who, but you'll get an audit from somebody on your fair practices of using that data in the care of patients. So that's going to be an important metric. So I think that's the so what. The so what is, do you have an algorithm governance? That's an awful name. You'll come up with a better name, but you get the idea. The group that's going to be looking at how computers make decisions, with how chatbots interact with your patients, how we made those decisions. You don't want the technology group making that by themselves. Actually, you don't want the clinicians making those decisions by themselves. You probably want ethicists. That's right. Ethics people at the table talking about. You probably want diversity and representation at the table to talk about, again, the bias that's readily available or readily transparent.